Hey y'all, this is Jessica with Bless Your Heart. Let's make a double-sided adhesive wrapped tumbler today. I'm going to start out with a 20-ounce prepped, sanded, and sprayed with alcohol tumbler. And I have gone in and just used my Silhouette to cut this square pattern out on a sheet of adhesive tape. My glitter choices today are going to be the Glitter Guy Aged Amber and Goldie Hawn. The cut settings I used for this on my Silhouette is a blade of 2, a force of 15, and a speed of 7. I'm going to go in and just remove every other square line by line and get that glittered. When you're glittering the adhesive sheet, you just want to go glitter by glitter, line by line, space by space. You want to sprinkle a little bit of glitter on to where you want this particular glitter to be. And you're going to rub it in to where the adhesive is showing. And that's going to give you the best coverage possible. And hopefully you don't have to go back and do a second round of glitter, because sometimes it's just a little tedious to paint each and every one of those spots. But I'm going to go line by line all the way down. Once I'm done with this first color, I'm going to kind of like aggressively tap it on the paper. And I am going to take a stiffer paintbrush and kind of just brush all this off. I'm going to put this glitter back in its bottle and I'm going to get ready for the next color. This next step is basically rinse and repeat. We're going to go in and pull off the remaining squares and we're going to get ready for the next color of glitter. This is the exact same process as before. We want to sprinkle the glitter where we want this glitter to be. We're going to rub it in pretty good and we're just going to move all the way down our adhesive sheet until we're happy with the coverage that we get. Once we're done with that glitter, we're going to aggressively tap it off and we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to pull off all of the rest of this remaining backing off of the adhesive sheet. And at first I wasn't going to do anything to any of this. I was just going to leave it as is. But then I decided I'm going to go in with Expo from Peachy Olive Glitters. And I'm going to go over all of the remaining pieces of adhesive showing. And we're going to end up with a finished product. When we're done, we're going to do our best to get all of those extra pieces of glitter off. And I'm going to use a little cheater method, I guess. I'm going to put a piece of white vinyl around my tumbler. And this is what is going to make the colors that we just put on our double-sided adhesive sheet pop a little bit more. So I'm going to use the hinge method to get this piece of vinyl applied, and then I'm going to move on to putting on our adhesive sheet. For applying our adhesive sheet, I am going to go in and use the hinge method. I am going to do my absolute best to line up all of those lines because it's a seamless pattern. I'm going to pull back the tiniest amount of the backing, cut it off, and I, like I said, am going to do my best to keep everything nice and even so it ends up correct. That's something we're fixing to find out together though, so let's hide and watch. When laying down this sheet of adhesive tape, you do not want to rub. So I'm going in right as this backing is pushing off, and I'm making like a piano movement. I'm going from the middle all the way out, and I'm just tapping my fingers ever so slightly on this piece of this sheet of adhesive that we're putting on. And that's going to help the best way I know how from bubbles and creases and all that stuff. So when we get that done, the big reveal when this piece of backing comes off, and we're going to see just how we did. And check that out. We did so great. So now I'm going to go in and use my trimmer tool, and I'm going to get all of that excess tape from the top rim and the bottom rim because I don't want any of that hanging over anywhere. And then we're going to move on to the next step. Once we're happy with what this looks like, and we should be because we just did a really good job, I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to spray it twice with polyacrylic spray because I don't want this glitter moving anywhere. Then I'm going to get a layer of epoxy and I'm going to do some striping. This is the thinnest striping vinyl that I have cut. I always keep these sheets of vinyl with 3 different sizes cut on there. And I'm going to go line by line all the way around, and then line by line from the top to the bottom. When we are done with all of our line work, we are going to do a coat of polyacrylic because we don't want any of this moving. And then we're going to epoxy this entire tumbler until smooth. And here we go. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.